How to succeed in investing without relying on luck. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have a golden touch in investing, while others struggle no matter how hard they try? Is success in investing really about luck, or is there something deeper at play? I used to ask myself these questions a lot, especially in my early years. I saw people making quick money, jumping into trends and walking away with huge profits. Meanwhile, I was stuck, trying to figure out why my path seemed filled with obstacles. It wasn't until much later that I realized something crucial. If I wanted to be a successful investor, I couldn't afford to rely on luck. Why luck is not a strategy. Some people believe investing is a game of chance. They hear about a stock skyrocketing overnight, a cryptocurrency exploding in value, or a real estate deal that turns someone into a millionaire. But here's the thing: how many of these people can repeat their success? How many of them actually understand what they did right? When I look back at my own journey, I realize I've never been the lucky type. In fact, luck and I have never been on good terms. I remember back in school, whenever there was a lucky draw, I already knew I wouldn't win before they even called out the numbers. While others got free gifts, I walked away empty-handed every single time. It was the same with those carnival games. Anything that required luck, I lost. But anything that required effort, like a game of skill, I had a fighting chance. At first, I thought it was unfair, but over time, I started seeing things differently. If I couldn't rely on luck, then the only way forward was through preparation, strategy, and effort. This realization shaped my entire approach to investing. The hard road that paid off. Unlike some investors who stumbled upon an opportunity and struck gold, my path was full of struggles. I didn't wake up one day and suddenly make a fortune. Every decision, every investment I made was the result of careful planning and relentless effort. I had to research companies for months, sometimes years, before putting my money in. I had to dig deep, analyze every risk, and prepare for every possibility. It wasn't easy. There were times when I felt exhausted, when I saw others making quick money and wondered if I was being too slow, too careful. But then I reminded myself, how many of those people would still have their money 5 years later? How many of them would survive the next financial crisis? And sure enough, when the market crashed, I saw it happen. People who had once bragged about their lucky investments were suddenly in debt. They had gambled and they had lost. But because I had built my investments on solid ground, I was able to hold on, even grow, while others struggled to recover. Turning preparation into power. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that luck is unpredictable, but preparation is in our control. That's why, whenever I invest, I eliminate as much uncertainty as possible. I don't invest in something just because it's trending. I don't chase quick wins. I make sure I fully understand what I'm putting my money into, that I have a clear strategy, and that I can survive even if things go wrong. You don't have to be lucky to succeed in investing. You just have to be prepared. And trust me, preparation gives you something even better than luck. It gives you control. So the next time you think about investing, ask yourself this: are you relying on luck, or are you taking charge of your financial future? The choice is yours. And if you choose the path of preparation, I promise, it's a journey worth taking. Stay with me, because in the next part, I'll share the second key mindset that transformed my financial life. This one is something deep, something personal, and I believe it will resonate with many of you. the fear that made me a better investor. If relying on luck isn't the key to successful investing, then what is? What truly separates those who build lasting wealth from those who lose it all? For me, it all comes down to one thing: a deep, unshakable fear. But not just any fear. I'm talking about the fear of poverty. The fear of being stuck in a place where no matter how hard you try, you can't move forward. The fear of waking up one day and realizing you have nothing left. At first, this fear felt like a burden, something I wished I could shake off. But over time, I realized it wasn't holding me back. It was pushing me forward. It became my greatest motivation, shaping the way I invest and ensuring I never made reckless financial decisions. What poverty taught me about money: I wasn't born into wealth. In fact, I had to start from the absolute bottom. When I was 18, fresh out of high school, I had no degree, no experience, and no real skills. The only thing I had was the willingness to work. My first job was assembling computers, followed by watching over an internet cafe. The pay was barely enough to get by, and every month felt like a battle just to make ends meet. I remember one evening after work, riding my old motorbike home, and suddenly craving a bowl of beef noodle soup. It wasn't anything extravagant, just a simple meal. But when I checked my wallet, I only had $10,000 in cash, and the bowl of noodles cost $15,000. I stood outside the shop for a while, looking at people inside enjoying their meals, but in the end, I had to walk away. I needed that money for gas to get home. It's a small moment, but it stuck with me, not because of the noodles, but because of what it represented. That feeling of being completely powerless. That realization that no matter how hard I worked, I was still trapped in a cycle where even the smallest luxuries were out of reach. And it wasn't just that one time. I had many days where I had to count every coin, hoping I had enough to get through the week. Times when I had to say no to opportunities simply because I couldn't afford to take a risk. Times when my future felt completely out of my control. Why fear became my greatest strength? You might be thinking, why am I telling you all this? What does this have to do with investing? Because that fear, that feeling of helplessness, became the foundation of my entire financial strategy. It made me realize something important. I never wanted to feel that way again. That fear forced me to think long-term. It made me cautious, disciplined, and incredibly focused on protecting what I had. It's the reason why I don't chase quick profits, why I don't gamble on risky trends, why I always prioritize stability over excitement. Some people might say I'm too careful, that I could make more money if I took bigger risks. But you know what? Those same people are often the ones who end up losing everything. Meanwhile, I've built something that lasts. Not because I was lucky, not because I took wild chances, but because I was terrified of going back to those days when I couldn't even afford a simple meal. The ultimate investment rule: don't lose money. At some point in my investing journey, I came across a quote from Warren Buffett that hit me like a lightning bolt. He said, "Rule number 1. 1. Never lose money. Rule number 2. Never forget rule number first." When I read that, I couldn't help but smile. Because that's exactly how I've been living my financial life. Not because I was following Buffett's wisdom from the start, but because my own fear had naturally led me to the same conclusion. I don't take risks that I can't afford to lose. I build layers of financial security so that no single mistake can wipe me out. I plan, I prepare, and I always make sure that no matter what happens, I never end up back in that position of helplessness again. And you know what? That approach has paid off. While others ride the highs and lows of unpredictable markets, I've built a portfolio that grows steadily, safely, and with minimal stress. Turning fear into power. A lot of people see fear as something negative, something that holds them back. But if you use it the right way, fear can be your greatest advantage. It can keep you from making reckless decisions. It can force you to think ahead. It can push you to build a financial future that's stable and secure. So, ask yourself, what's your biggest financial fear? What are you most afraid of? And more importantly, how can you use that fear to make smarter decisions? I promise you, once you start thinking this way, everything changes. You stop chasing quick wins. You stop making emotional decisions. Instead, you start building something real, something that will last a lifetime. And in the next part, I'll show you exactly how I turn this fear into a bulletproof investment strategy, one that has protected me through financial crashes, economic downturns, and all the unexpected challenges life throws our way. Stay with me, because this could be the key to transforming your financial future. The smartest way to invest, a strategy that lasts. If fear of poverty has shaped my investment mindset, then how do I actually invest? How do I turn that fear into a solid strategy that not only protects my money, but also helps it grow? This is the part that changes everything. Because once you understand how to control your emotions, how to use fear to your advantage, instead of letting it paralyze you, you're already ahead of most investors. Now, it's time to take the next step, building an investment strategy that is smart, safe, and built to last. Why most investors fail. If you look around, you'll see a common pattern in the investment world. People get excited about a hot trend, stocks, crypto, real estate, whatever is booming at the moment. They see others making money fast, and they jump in without fully understanding what they're investing in. At first, everything seems great. They make some quick profits. They feel unstoppable. But then, the market shifts. Prices drop. Fear sets in. And suddenly, they realize they don't actually know what they're doing. Some panic and sell at a loss. Others hold on, hoping things will turn around, only to watch their money disappear completely. Why does this happen? Because they never had a real strategy. They were investing based on emotions, greed when prices were going up, fear when they were going down. And when emotions control your investments, the results are almost always disastrous. I saw this happen firsthand. When crypto was at its peak, people were throwing their life savings into it without understanding a thing about how it worked. When the real estate market was booming, people were borrowing money they couldn't afford to pay back. And when the crash came, many lost everything. Meanwhile, I watched from the sidelines. Not because I didn't want to invest, but because I knew that if something looks too good to be true, it usually is. And when everyone else was losing money, my portfolio remained strong, not because I was lucky, but because I stuck to my rules. The power of a conservative investment approach. Here's the truth. Investing isn't about making the highest returns in the shortest amount of time. It's about making smart, consistent decisions that allow you to grow your wealth safely over decades. That's why I don't gamble with my investments. I don't chase trends and I don't rely on hope. Instead, I focus on things that I understand deeply. For me, this means investing in companies where I know exactly how the business works, how they make money, and who is running them. It means choosing investments where I have control, where I can see the financial reports, where I can understand the risks, and where I know that even in the worst-case scenario, I won't lose everything. This is why most of my portfolio consists of private companies, businesses where I either have a direct role or know the people managing them personally. When I invest, I don't just look at numbers on a screen. I look at real operations, real people, and real long-term potential. Does this mean I make money as fast as those who gamble on the latest trend? Number. But it does mean that when the market crashes, I don't have to panic. It means that while others are losing sleep over their losses, I'm still building my wealth, step by step, year after year. The one question that changes everything whenever I consider an investment, I always ask myself one simple question. If everything goes wrong, will I still be okay? If the answer is no, if the investment depends on things going perfectly, on market conditions staying favorable, or on luck, then I walk away. Because I've seen too many people lose everything by ignoring this question. They invest with the expectation that things will always go their way. They assume the market will keep going up, that their income will always be steady, that their risks will never become reality. But life doesn't work that way. By always preparing for the worst, I make sure that even if the worst happens, I'm still in control. I never invest money I can't afford to lose. I never risk my financial security for the chance of a quick profit. And because of that, I never have to worry about waking up one day and realizing I've lost it all. The investment mindset that creates true wealth at the end of the day. Investing isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's not about making the biggest bets or taking the biggest risks. It's about having the right mindset. A mindset that doesn't rely on luck but on preparation, uses fear as motivation instead of letting it create panic, focuses on long-term growth instead of chasing short-term highs, protects capital above all else. This is how you build real, lasting wealth. Not by gambling, not by taking unnecessary risks, but by being disciplined, patient, and always putting yourself in a position where you cannot lose everything. The challenge for you. So now, I want to challenge you. Take a look at your current financial situation, your investments, your goals. Ask yourself, are you investing with a real strategy? Or are you just hoping things work out? If the market crashes tomorrow, are you confident you'll still be okay? If not, it's time to rethink your approach. Start focusing on investments you truly understand. Build a foundation that protects you, even in the worst situations. And most importantly, never invest in anything that could leave you with nothing. Because at the end of the day, true wealth isn't just about how much money you make. It's about how much you can keep, how much you can grow, and how much security you create for yourself and your loved ones. And that's what real financial success looks like.